Hi everybody, so in the last video we learned how to select the single rows with the log operator, and in this video we will further enhance our skills and learn how to slice rows and columns with the log operator. But before we start, we import pandas and we import our battle dataset and set the index column to athlete. So athlete is our index column. And let's have a look here at the first 5 rows. So we have here the athlete column as index. And then the last video we learned that with the operator log we can make label-based indexing. So we can pass a label, so for example Michael Phelps, within the spare brackets. So let's see what we get here. And we get here a data set with all rows that contains Michael Phelps on the index. So if the label here occurs many times, so we get all occurrences of the label here. And same as with the ilog operator, so the first position here within the brackets is for the index, and the second position here after the comma is for the column. So with the first position you index or slice the index, and with the second position you slice or index the column. And now for example we can select only the column medal. And here we get a panda series with all occurrences of Michael Phelps as the label of our series here. And as values we get all medals of the rows. So the name of the panda series is here medal. Alright, so let's copy it here and paste it in our next line. And with the log operator we can of course also slice for many columns. So for example we want to have a medal and we want to have the event. Spare bracket here is missing. Alright. So now we get all medals of Michael Phelps and we get the kind of medal and the kind of event. So here Michael Phelps won the gold medal for 100-meter butterfly. And we can also select for more than one label here. So let's copy it here. And let's say we not only want to get all medals and the events of Michael Phelps, but also we are interested in, let's say, Carl Lewis. So we open here a list. And here we have Michael Phelps, and let's try here Carl Lewis. And let's close here our list. So here we are slicing for Michael Phelps and Carl Lewis, and we want to know the medals and the event. And here we have Michael Phelps, and here we have all occurrences of Carl Lewis. So he won a gold in 100 meter, 200 meter, long jump and so on. Alright, so now let's go back and let's have a look at the first 10 rows here with the head method. And with the log operator we not only can select for particular rows and columns, we can also make slices. So for example, what if we want to slice from the very beginning, so from the first row until Spiridon Kasapis. So let's try it. So we take here summer.log, and then within the spare brackets we say, okay, we want all rows from the beginning until, and let's copy it here. So let's make here quotation marks and let's paste. So let's see what we get here. So we got all rows from the beginning, Alfred Hayos, until Spiridon Jasapis. And the very last column here is including. So typically with the position-based indexing or slicing, like with the ilog operator, we learned that the starting point is including and the ending point is excluding. But now with the label-based indexing, so both ends are including. So we have the starting point including, and also the ending point here, Spiridon Chasapis, is also including. And Spiridon jasapis is actually a unique value in our index. So there's only one appearance of Spiridon jasapis. And let's try to do the same with, for example, Michael Phelps, where we know there are many occurrences of Michael Phelps. So now here we can see that we get an error message, and it says that cannot get right slice bound for non-unique labels Michael Phelps. So label-based slicing with labels that are non-unique does not work here. Alright, so and we can also try the following here, so let's copy it. And before we saw here that Alfred Hayos has two occurrences, so the first row and the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh row. So now if we want to slice the whole data set beginning from Alfred Hayos until the very end, we can try this. So let's copy here the label. So we want to have all rows beginning from Alfred Hayos until the very end. And also here we get an error message, cannot get left slice bound for non-unique label Alfred Hayos. So label-based slicing only works with unique labels. Alright, so let's move on and let's have a look at the 21st rows here. And what we could do, we could actually slice from an beginning point to an ending point. So let's take summer.log. And then we could say we want to slice from Dimitrios Drivas. It's here. Until, for example, Arthur Blake. And I can tell you that both labels are unique in our index, so this should work. And there we can see we get a data frame, so a slice of our original data frame beginning with Dimitrios Drivas and ending with Arthur Blake, and both ending points are including. And we already know from position-based indexing that by default the starting point is including, but the ending point is excluding. So this is here different with label-based indexing. And we can also do label-based slicing for the columns. So let's copy it here. And let's say we want to slice for Dimitrios Drivas, but only for Dimitrios Drivas, and for the columns. We want the columns from year until sport including. So we could say from the column year until the column sport. And here we can see that we get for the row with the label Dimitrios Drivas all columns beginning from year until sport. So also here the starting point and the ending point are including. Alright, so last but not least, let's try another one here. And let's say we want to slice for Michael Phelps again. And we want to slice additionally for, let's say, Donald Duck. So I do think that there is no label Donald Duck, so there was no athlete that ever won a medal with the name Donald Duck, but we can check. And here we can see, so first of all, we have here all occurrences of Michael Phelps. And then here in the very end, in our new data frame, we have the row Donald Duck. And in all columns here, we have NaN values, so we have missing values, because in our original data frame, there is no row with the label Donald Duck, but still we get here a result, but yeah, of course with missing values. And Python drops here a warning. and says that if we pass labels that are actually not in our data frame, in the future Python will raise an error here, and we should use the reindex method. So, but for the time being, now we can ignore this because still it works here. So we have Donald Duck here with any n values and all the values of Michael Phelps. And we know that Pandas is still under development, so this could change in the future, and therefore we have the future warning. Alright, so let's copy it here. And we can also try to slice for columns which are not in our original data frame. So let's say, okay, Michael Phelps is okay. And we want to slice for the columns year. And we assume that in our data frame there's in the column age with the age of each athlete. So we know that there is no column age, but we can try. And also here we get all occurrences of Michael Phelps. Here we get the year column, and we get the age column, which we do not have in our original data frame. But here in our new data frame we have the age column with missing values, so it still works here, and we get here the same future warning that still this works, so passing labels that are actually not in the original data frame, but in the future we should use the reindex method. Alright, so this is it for this session, and in the next session we will have a quick summary of all that we learned in the last videos, so hope to see you there. Bye!